This is what happens when you roll out critical infrastructures, critical, development without doing your homework, your home research. As we all know, the federal government has asked FAN, not even just the federal government, the president himself, Tinubu, called. I don't know if it was a phone call, but we were told that the president told Mr. Festus Kayamo, who is the Minister of Aviation, he told him to discontinue the cashless payment at international airports, and he asked him to go back to the drawing board. If it was a private company where your employer calls you and say, "Hey, this thing that you did is a chaos. Go back to the drawing board," there will be some sort of penalty. I don't know. It feels very embarrassing that the president had to call Mr. Festus and say, "Go back to the drawing board. What you came up with is not working." So I don't know if you guys already know. You probably have seen it in the news. The Federal Airport Authority Nigeria, known as FAN, introduced cashless payments at Murtala Mohammed Airport and Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Lagos and Abuja, respectively. So this means if you want to access the airport, instead of paying cash, you will be required to pay with your bank card, or there's a toll card, the card that the airport has come up with, the airport authority has come up with, where people can make payments. So they wanted to make this process seamless. They wanted to cut out the cash payment because, of course, there are some greedy people who steal this money. When it's cash, it's very hard to track the inflow of money. So this idea on its own is a beautiful idea. They wanted to cut out cash transaction so that it can be just, each e-payments every. That was the idea on its own is really cool, beautiful to see that they want to move forward. They want to move to international standard, I would say. But I don't think they achieved what they had hoped for. I don't know what they were hoping for. I don't know if this came together as a group, sat and think of what the impact of that would be. Again, it's a good idea that they came up with, but I don't think they sat together and say, "Oh, if we introduce cashless payment, how is this going to look like?" Because we have hundreds, thousands of people who use this airport every day, hundreds of people every day, weekly, thousands. Did they sit back and think, "Oh, how are we going to make this process seamless so that when people come at the airport, there is no gridlock, there is no traffic"? I don't think they thought about that because the videos that we saw on social media did not look good. Well, have a look.
Passengers and motorists accessing the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos are currently facing long queues and heavy traffic gridlock.
Coming and going now, the same thing. Why? Why the government like to cause pain for each citizen all the time?
Hopefully, wake up one morning and say, "I want to start collecting what's it called, card, cashless payment." All this should be done by before now. Now, this is traffic they are crossing on the road.
Honestly, I feel bad for the people sitting in those cars because imagine you have a flight to catch. Maybe you leave the airport, like let's say you leave your house 2 hours to your flight, and then you are stuck in traffic for more than 30 minutes or close to an hour. What time do you have left to go through security and board your flight? I read in the news that some people missed their flight, some people were late to their flight. Why? Because some group of people who were in charge of making this process seamless just simply did not do their homework. There's a video of this foreigner who had to use bike, I think, to sort of like cut through traffic. That video was so funny and I want you guys to have a look. Guys, this is hilarious, but still not hilarious at the same time. Well, most Nigerians started to complain about the gridlock and about how they were stuck in traffic and about how the government needs to do something. Again, guys, like I've said so many times on this video, I do like the idea that the airport authority wanted to make this cashless. But again, I don't think they did their homework. You can't keep people in traffic for minutes, hours, when they have to catch a flight. No, this is what we talk about, the airport experience. It doesn't just start at the airport. It starts, the journey. It has to be seamless. I don't even know. I looked online to see what photos of the toll gate at the airport looks like. And it's not wide enough. If we had so many gates, it would have been understandable. So now we know that not everybody is using the same gates. I'm sure there's like different, passage where people can go to, maybe like 4 or less, or 5 or less. I don't know what it is, but I saw a picture. It looks like it's about 5. But if there were many of these gates, we can have many people processing or passing through at the same time, and that would reduce the gridlock. Well, after people had complained, it was on the news about the gridlock, how people would miss their flights, the president had to step in. The boss of the country had to step in, told Festus that he needs to discontinue this, go back to the drawing board, and come up with a new plan immediately, as soon as possible. So it's not just we are discontinuing this until further notice, it's we're discontinuing this and we have to come up with a new plan immediately. I'm eager and curious to see what a new plan would look like. But right now, if you have the same airport card, and you can still pay with cash or cashless, both of them still works now. But I'm just eager to see what Festus wants to come up with this time around. Again, cashless, I'm all for it. The government needs to gather as much money as it can, so that when we start holding you accountable, you're not telling us that you don't have money, because you have the money from toll gates and parking lots. Anyways, it's good news that it has been cancelled, so people will not miss their flights anymore. I strongly think and I believe that Tinubu did not just cancel that because maybe Nigerians are stuck in traffic. I don't think he cares about us that much. Maybe his friends or VIPs who were stuck in traffic didn't like the idea and just, hello, Mr. President, can you call your Minister of Aviation? And I'm just kidding. But I'm not convinced that Tinubu just cares about us, and that's why he called the minister and asked him to fix that. There's so many things in this country that need fixing. How come his eyes are not poking there? It's just this one. But we thank you, Mr. President, for caring for the people. But I'm just not convinced that you just did that because you love us. Maybe your VIPs had called you. I'm just saying. Anyways, I want to know what your thoughts are. Guys, my next video, I want to talk about state policing in Nigeria. The president is pushing hard for state policing. And my next video, we're going to go into that. We'll talk about what state policing is. Do I think it's a good idea? What my thoughts are. Anyways, I want to know what your thoughts are about this video that I just made in the comments. I'm always in the comments. I love to see you guys comments. It brings me so much joy. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.